Hello guys, I'm so excited that finally I have just received my new book, The Bible of Bodybuilding. It's a book that consists of 400 pages. You can purchase this book on Amazon, and this book contains my former books, The PDs Used in Sports and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, plus the Training, Nutrition, Supplementation, but also including extra features, Q&As about gear, about HRT, but also a quiz regarding supplements, diet, and of course PEDs. So the Bible of Bodybuilding on Amazon, both on ebook and Kindle version.
Hey everybody, welcome to Ask Dr. Testosterone, starring Dr. George Tsoulianos, brought to you by his new book, The Bible of Bodybuilding. It encompasses everything you need to know: training, nutrition, supplementation, PEDs, everything you need to know to put together your best physique. It's available on Amazon.com. While you're there, you might as well get this great book that I wrote, Real Bodybuilding. And now, please welcome from Athens, Greece, Dr. George Tsoulianos. Welcome, Doctor.
Hello, Ron.
Okay, yeah, we had a good week as far as we didn't lose any more people in the sport. Thank goodness, thank God. It was almost like every week someone was passing away. So, God.
Well, there was a rumor about the Richards, yeah.
Yes, he was. And I was one of the people that spread the rumor that he was dead. So I apologized, but
it's not your fault. But this is online thing, you know. Well, who gets the first misinformation, perhaps?
Right, but. You know, let's say somebody reported you were dead right now. It would be, and it's all over social media. What would you
need
do?
To verify this? You need to verify this. That's why the news never say something which is not 100%.
Right, but people were calling him, people were texting him. I messaged him. He ignored everybody for days. So he was quiet. So everyone's like, I guess he is dead, because he has a Facebook that he posts on. He's on Instagram. He did not make one post. If it was me, I'd be right there. I'd make a video saying, hey, everybody, I'm right here. I'm alive. I'm not dead. You know, appreciate all your concern and all that, but I'm right here. He did not do that. So very, very strange. Very strange. Anyway, he's a roller coaster
of emotions, you know, from death to life. It's so weird.
You know, I kind of wonder, I'm not saying he did this, but I kind of wonder if he wanted to see if people still cared about him. You know, like say you're dead. I'd start a rumor about my own death to see how the reaction would be among everybody. I wouldn't.
But usually people after somebody passing tend to say all the good things and forget about any negativity, you know?
Yeah. So, you know, I'm not saying he did this, but wouldn't it be cool to hear all those great things about yourself while you're still alive? Yeah. Because when you're dead, you're not going to hear it, right? So anyway, let's get to some questions. That's why we're here. It's Ask Dr. Testosterone. We get into some prolactin issues right away. He's a male, prolactin levels at 28.0, all other markers in range. What do I need to do? Any idea what might have caused it? Any natural ways to combat it?
So again, prolactinemia is related to stress, also lack of sleep, insomnia, thyroid issues, hypothyroidism, use of opiates, SSRIs, marijuana, and it's not necessarily linked always to 19-testosterone derivatives exclusively. Okay. Now, natural ways, there are some speculations about pyridoxine and B6, but as a doctor, I'm a fan of medication. So a dopamine agonist, either cabergoline or bromocriptine, you know.
Yeah, that's what most people use, right?
The only two medications, yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So next one is, when adding NPP, which is Nandrolone phenylpropionate, to my HRT protocol at 100 milligrams a week of testosterone. Wait a minute. He says test at 200 milligrams per week and GH at 2 IUs a day. Okay, so he wants to add 100 milligrams of NPP to 200 milligrams of test a week, and he's on 2 IUs of growth. What are the health markers I should watch for?
Well, the standard deviations, like when you abuse, so hemoglobin, lipids, and liver enzymes mainly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say blood pressure, but I suggest the use of 50 milligrams for the sake of the joint relief, you know, to smooth the ache, because 100 milligrams of Nandrolone sounds like a small cycle, you know. So you're deviating for the philosophy of replacement therapy, which is using something under medically prescribed dose in order to relieve some of the symptoms and have some benefits. Otherwise, this slight elevation will, in the long term, perhaps in the end of this use, will have some distortions.
Yeah, so you use only 50 milligrams of DECA a week, right?
Not now. Now I'm using even less.
Wow.
Yes.
And you still feel the joints?
I have to tell you that I was started, let's say, blasting this of 50 milligrams for the past right after my surgery, actually. Yes, I wanted to rehab. Yeah. It was also so 6 months. I have to tell you that slightly my HDL decreased. Okay, my hematocrit, of course, elevated as usual, but to a greater degree. And my liver enzymes were mainly affected by, I guess, by rhabdomyolysis. But I don't believe 50 DECA injectable, because my grandmother, she didn't experience within 2 years any liver distortions.
Wow.
All right, within 100 milligrams of DECA.
Wow. She was on 100 milligrams a week?
For 2 years.
Wow. Wow.
Yes. For the last 2 years, yes. In order to slow down all the degeneration in skeletal muscle, you know. Yeah. So, yeah, DECA besides is not toxic, but, you know, the more you use, then progressively you're going to have sooner the sides.
Yeah. How old was your grandmother when she passed? Like 104?
8.
108. Wow. That's amazing. That's incredible. Yeah. Wow. 108. Wow. I'm not.
And until 106, she was walking even with a brace, you know. But
wow.
She could walk. Yeah, she could ring the bell and open the door.
At 106 years old. Wow.
Yeah, she could do that. Yeah.
That's crazy. God bless her soul. Okay, next one is, hi guys, I'm from the UK. I've been diagnosed with very low testosterone. My testosterone, and they have different measuring standards, it sounds like, is only 3 nmol. Is that nanogram? That can't be nanograms per milliliter, is it? Because the range is between 8 nmol to 29 nmol. The endocrinologist wants to treat me, but I feel absolutely fine, and I don't feel I need to take testosterone. My energy levels are great. Libido is good. I'm very lean and train 5 days a week. My diet's good. I'm 41 years old. Do I have to go on testosterone, or can I live a healthy life with such low testosterone? Or will it cause health complications for me down the road, having such low testosterone?
But frankly, Ron, I can't believe how is this possible. He explains that he looks and he feels perfectly well, with a testosterone way below the lowest range, you know. And I would guess that there are guys, even with 40%, let's just below mid-range, and they complain horribly. Now, this guy should be dead by now, literally, okay? And now, but generally speaking, living with low testosterone has more complications rather than the possible side effects of the testosterone use. But when it's optimized, we minimize this to the lowest, okay? Yeah. So if you stay with low testosterone, depression, erectile dysfunction, lack of sex drive, osteoporosis, anemia, metabolic syndrome, diabetes, and finally cardiovascular disease.
A lot of bad things.
Out of low T, okay?
Yeah.
So he's lean, come on.
I mean, I don't know.
He feels great, libido is great. Come on, what the heck is going on there? Repeat the test. But sometimes free testosterone is a real deal. So I guess to be super high, the free testosterone, because this HBG is close to 0, this is crazy. This is unreal and ridiculous.
So do you think he might possibly have normal free testosterone levels and just very low?
Could be, could be the free testosterone above mid-range, and the total testosterone could be a little bit suppressed. But usually what happens is the opposite. Yeah. We have a very good total testosterone that is not the ideal picture, because the free testosterone is suppressed. All right. Yeah.
Very strange.
I guess repeat the test, okay, and also have LH, free testosterone, HBG, you know, all the panel.
Yeah. And if he is low in all those things, for health reasons, he
Certainly,
should go on
absolutely.
TRT. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because there are a lot of dangers associated with very low testosterone, as you said,
Mhm.
as has been proven. So, okay, we have from Gus Poulos. What's up, Gus? Hello, doctor. I have a very important question that is affecting myself and other bodybuilders. I've been on 500 milligrams of test for 5 months, and my blood work showed slightly elevated hemoglobin and hematocrit levels. After taking both COVID vaccine shots, I started to feel very tired and felt something was off. I got recent blood work done, and my doctor said my hemoglobin and hematocrit levels are dangerously high, but would not admit that the vaccine causes thicker blood. I've stopped the test completely and want to know if you recommend aspirin to help thin the blood. I've been on 88 milligrams for years. I guess that's aspirin. Can I take 325 milligrams a day until my levels go back to normal?
No, there's some misunderstanding over here. Aspirin does not lower hematocrit or hemoglobin, but it deactivates the platelets, number one. Number two, if you increase that much, 325, you're going to have an ulcer. Okay, an ulcer actually is good because you lose blood and the hemoglobin lowers, but it's a nasty thing. Now, the vaccines do not elevate hematocrit. They just have some tendency for clotting and thrombus. Okay, this is something different. It doesn't mean that necessarily they elevate hemoglobin, all right? Now, hemoglobin certainly elevates out of the 0.5 gram of testosterone he's taking.
Yeah.
We use, of course, precautiously a low dose aspirin, film coated always, in order to deactivate the platelets that participate in the clotting. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, generally speaking, I tell to the guys, to the boys that are within cycle, just before shooting the vaccines, to check 3 things: hemoglobin, estrogens, because elevated estrogens may favor clotting, and number 3, homocysteine, because homocysteine is highly related to clotting issues, deep venous thrombosis, and pulmonary embolism. But in his case, as I've said so many times in the book also and everywhere, number 1, take aspirin. Number 2, take pentoxifylline to improve the circulation. It's not a thinner, but improves nitric oxide. Number 3, take losartan, which is a medication against blood pressure that lowers hemoglobin. It has the side effect of anemia, let's say, which is helpful for us, okay? Yeah. Number 4, stop taking red meat, consuming red meat. Number 5, treat sleep apnea if you have. Number 6, hydrate a lot. All these steps, okay? But no reason to blame the vaccine without any clue. Yes, the vaccines may contribute, but not through elevation of hemoglobin. They don't boost TPO, for Christ's sake, no.
Well, just it seems strange that he had slightly elevated hemoglobin and hematocrit, and he'd already been on 0.5 gram of test. Then he took the vaccine, and those both went way up. Do you think it's
I don't believe there's any relation. This went up progressively because of the test, because of the androgen. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Otherwise, people would report such cases that the vaccine increased my stamina, because to anemic people this is helpful.
That's true.
Come on.
Well, these long-acting esters, like if you're using an anthate or something.
Yeah, they work through the long term,
Yeah, because they have such, slow half-lives that eventually, if you're on them for months and months, your levels build up pretty high. Okay, that's the answer, Gus. Next one. Hey, guys, I always seem to get sick after I finish a cycle, usually bronchitis. It doesn't matter what time of the year, the gear I used, or how long the cycle was. This has been going on for 20 years. I don't do PCT. I just continue my TRT dosage of 100 milligrams twice a week. Blood work is always good before, during, and after the cycle. Any idea why this happens?
Now, my only guess is during the cycle, you're busting yourself to the gym, you're overtraining, and if you don't have a good sleep and recovery, if you are on a diet, then you're most likely to develop some upper respiratory tract infections.
Okay.
Like flu, like bronchitis, especially if you take tren, you crash on anti-inflammatory cortisol, which is catabolic because tren is super anabolic. So you catch up some infections, including COVID also.
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard that from a lot of other people too, that they always get sick after a cycle. I always used to get my worst acne after a cycle, which years ago.
We said that it's the imbalance of the hormones.
Right. Yeah, it was terrible. They were like, if you could pop them, they were these big, disgusting boils. Oh, years ago, many years ago. Oh, here's a good one. I'm traveling abroad for 2 months and I don't want to take my testosterone injections with me. Can I take Proviron 25 milligrams a day instead? I'm on TRT of 250 milligrams test a week.
I would suggest to use just one shot of libido.
Okay.
Proviron is helpful also, but it's not the real deal, you know. You're going to feel so. I mean, it will elevate the free testosterone, but it's not replaceable with testosterone, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, if he's on prescription, he doesn't want to take it, but if you have a valid prescription, you can take these things with you and you're not going to get in trouble. It's not like somebody like me. If I want to take steroids with me, I'd be in big trouble. I don't have a prescription for them. So I guess he just doesn't want to do it. So libido
I can do this also now for my next. I just booked my ticket for the Arnold, you know, the airplane, but also the gold one, not the platinum, the gold one.
Oh, the VIP tickets?
The VIP tickets, yes.
Okay. You said that. Did you say the hotels are already sold out?
Yeah, almost all of them. I just found only one small next to the Crown Plaza, which actually has a new name now.
Yeah.
So Hyatt is full, Hilton is full.
Jeez.
The Hamptons is full. Crazy. The Crown Plaza is full also.
Jeez, it's only November. Come on.
Yeah, I guess there are many reservations, but hopefully after a while, perhaps they will release them because there will be some cancels. I don't know. I guess all people will return, you know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because we had last year, there was like, I should say this year, it's still.
Okay, I'm going to say this on air because we're not supposed, I'm invited to the Arnold Educational again.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Rick Collins, Bill Welling, and Eric Serrano.
Right on. That's a good time.
Yeah.
It's a whole day of seminars.
My second educational and my fourth Arnold Classic.
Right on. Yeah. I'll just be glad to see everything back to normal. The expo, the Arnold Amateur, all those sports. You see all the people walking around, the people doing fencing, cheerleading, martial arts.
I don't know the lineup. Yes, it's a huge festival, you know.
Yeah, it's more
like a circus. You don't know where to go.
You can't go over. There's like 10, 12 things happening at the same time all the time. So you have to be, you can't see everything. It's impossible. But did you know there's more athletes that go to that than there are that compete in the Olympic Games?
No. Yeah. Olympic Games are about 10,000.
10,000?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this is like 20,000 athletes.
Really?
Yeah. And 250,000 people altogether come for this. So it's going to be a big show. Okay. Next one is another Proviron show. Question. Since Proviron is hard to get in the States, I'm going to add Masteron to my TRT dose of 200 milligrams cypionate. What weekly dose of Masteron would be a good starting point? I've struggled with low libido since taking finasteride many years ago. Hoping Masteron will help.
So he wants to use Masteron because there's no Proviron.
Right.
Okay, Masteron is injectable. It's propionate. Is every other day. Use a little 3 times a week.
So it usually comes in 100 milligrams per milliliter, the Masteron that I see. How much do you think he should be using every other day?
I know we do for bodybuilding one ampoule, right? So about 300 to 400 per week, but use half of it. So if you use 50 milligrams every other day, it's 200 per week.
Okay, yeah.
Now, if you use 50 of Proviron every day, it's 350 per week. But obviously, the bioavailability is done the same.
Right. Yeah, that's terrible. I never knew that until you told me that, many shows ago about the oral versus injectable availability. What a waste of good pills. Final question, just a good vitamin question. What's the optimal dose of vitamin D3 daily that you recommend? Depends exclusively on the serum levels, on the blood. Okay, so actually we measure the active form, which is 1.25 OH, D3, which is more expensive than the 25 OH, which is the total and the form. Usually, when it's below mid-range, I suggest 10,000, especially now with COVID during winter time, because an immunity booster. Otherwise, if it's close to 50, a maintenance dose for me is the 5,000 during the winter.
Now, during the summer, I've experienced that you can retain the high levels just with the sunlight.
Oh, right.
So you don't need to use continuously the D3 like in the winter. And of course, in order to synthesize D3, not just the sun, but because the steroid molecule emits cholesterol, it means not to be a vegan.
There you go.
All right.
I was never going to be.
And finally, I'm sorry, the D3 vitamin, because of fat soluble, it needs some fat. So don't swallow with water, just have some fatty meal, you know, and especially with breakfast, because I've heard that the D3 vitamin works like the circadian rhythm. So you shouldn't take it at night, but it's better to take it in the morning.
Okay. Yeah. And, you know, breakfast, guys, you should be having, talk about fatty meal, eat your whole eggs, guys. I know a lot of you guys are all about the egg whites. I eat 4 eggs, whole eggs every morning. My cholesterol is perfect. So there. Because we had that myth for many years.
Yeah. The eggs are not bad.
Eggs are going to
way
kill
better
you.
than red meat in terms of cholesterol elevation, you know?
Absolutely. Well, that's all the questions we have for you this week, Doctor. Appreciate you taking the time to share your knowledge, your expertise with the men and women around the world who don't have this opportunity. Medical doctor, champion bodybuilder, someone who walks the walk, talks the talk. Once again, I want to remind you guys, check out his new book. It's the Bible of Bodybuilding. Get that on Amazon.com. Also check out his website, gtoul.com. A lot of great info and articles in English and in Greek. Follow the doctor on Instagram at Dr. George Touliatos. That's it. We appreciate you guys watching. Please leave your comments in there. Like the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, do all that good stuff. And we'll see you next week right here on Ask Dr. Testosterone.